Disclaimer. This game contains disturbing subject matters and might not be for everyone. You have been warned.
She a nympho, I wanna fuck, baby, let me get your info. Let me know what you wanna get yourself into. Yeah, I know that you got some daddy issues.
How is it going, nerds? My name is Linkwood, and in the last episode of Her Lie I Tried to Believe, we ended up learning that she loved us all those years, and we gave up, I believe. I don't know. I really don't know what happened. This is getting deep and, really heavy. So if you're, easily disturbed, I would recommend not watching. But, if you want to, that's fine. I get views from it. So, if you really enjoy it, go ahead. Anyway, let's get back into it. Something that I probably shouldn't have. As I was about to leave the hotel, it must have been around 5 a.m. the next morning, Cassandra stopped me casually and said, "I want you to come back see me next week, alright?" And my reply to that was, "Not a chance, idiot." She flashed me a smile nonetheless. I wonder if she knew. I wonder if she knew she already had me. After that, I met with her on the same day, once a week. We would drink together at that bar she was working at. We would always finish the night at the same hotel right after. Must have been around the third week that I finally decided to ask about it. She was speaking to me at great length like always, just after having sex. I was sitting on the corner of the bed, listening to her half-heartedly while sucking on a cigarette. Yet, yeah, I was a smoker by then. Took the habit out of nowhere, probably to look even more pathetic than I already was. "We should go see it together. They say it's the movie of the decade." "Shut up," I said to her, brusquely in reply, yet, "I wonder if you'd pay for my entry fee. I bet you would. You're that type of man after all." She was laughing and smiling like always. I first thought she would stop acting this way the moment she finally showed me her true self, but she betrayed that expectation. She exacted the same whether we're alone or not. The only time when she behaves differently is when we're having sex. She would fixate me, always in the eyes, with a frightening passion. Normally I'm the one who's cold and violent, but when we're having sex, she could very well be seen as disturbed as I am. I wonder then why she was always smiling. Was it fake or was it not? Even I, who know her better than anyone else, have no clue. How can someone as empty as her smile so thoroughly like this? What? I badly wanted to know, but why? Why was I even involving myself with the likes of her? It's not like my feelings had changed all of a sudden. I still very much hated the thing she is. I didn't understand myself anymore. Still, I needed to know. So without thinking much, I asked her something for the first time since almost forever. I asked her something I wish I hadn't. "Why did you end up this way?" She was surprised. Obviously, I had disturbed her while she was speaking. But her surprise didn't come from that fact. She looked at me and smiled at me silently for a time, but not with that smile. A smile as though she had won something. A smile as though there was hope somewhere, somehow. She was just genuinely happy, I think. But maybe there was something with that smile that I didn't understand back then. All I knew was that she was waiting for that question. She told me her tale. Some stereotypical bullshit I didn't want to hear. Her father had a lot of money when she was younger. He was some kind of successful businessman or investor or whatever. I didn't listen all that well, to be honest. But he had enough money to get by, was the term she used, whatever that meant. And in 5th grade, out of nowhere, Cassandra started showing interest in her studies, so much that she was on top of her class every following year. Seeing her growing up to be such an outstanding woman, her father decided to invest in her by starting paying for her later education. Some kind of prestigious university or something like that. Didn't even know you could pay for such a thing so early in the game. Anyway, now for the plot twist. Her father pretty much lost everything by trying to invest in some real estate market bullshit. Wrong time, wrong place. That's what they always say anyway. So sure enough, now that he was poor as shit, he started thinking about the investment he made on his daughter. Problem is, such an investment takes a really long time to pay off. That, and the fact that it's your fucking daughter, you piece of shit, she deserves at least that much. But anyway, he kind of started mistreating her by blaming his sorry ass on her failure to graduate sooner. And by that time, the fucker got his feet even dirtier by gambling away all the little he had to subsist. In the end, drumroll, She was forced to quit school and started working. At least the good man, who was her father, owed money to, was kind enough to show her a high-paying job she literally couldn't refuse. And that's pretty much it. Now for a test of my fucking conscience. If I hadn't started forcing my ideal of rivalry upon her, would she still have ended up like this? Or better yet, even if she did, couldn't I have done something for her? I mean, in high school, I had kind of noticed that something was strange, but did nothing nonetheless. So was it my fault? Maybe. And so, what? It didn't affect me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Yet, I still wish I hadn't asked her this. One of the last things he was always saying to me before he died was, "You're the golden egg that never hatched." The definition of useless. I get up from the bed. "I need to go now," I said, though I didn't really need to. That fast? But I want to be with you. And you paid for the whole night, and... She was sulking, puffing her cheeks like a child. If I were an asshole, I would probably have found her behavior cute. But my only thought to that was, "You're disgusting." I took my keys on the coffee table and left, her words still hanging. "You'll come back next Thursday, right?" Closing the door behind me, I stayed for a time there, motionless. My hands were clenched tightly in form of a fist. I was frustrated for some reason. If I had stayed for a minute longer, those fists would have probably been thrown at her. Fuck! I had a hard time understanding myself. If it hurts me so much staying around her, why was I always coming back to this place? Am I yearning for this? This pitiful excuse for a relationship. I had a vague idea as to the reason behind my illogical behavior, but I don't want to think it's true, because this would mean my whole life was even more of a joke than I first thought it was. Chapter 5. The Inevitable Disruption. The 7th week marked a change in the stupid routine of ours. By then, we were already no longer meeting at a workplace. Instead, we would simply meet directly at our hotel room, which means we could see each other at a more appropriate time than in the middle of the week, and I no longer had to pay for her fees as well. And this, I found very shady indeed, because the reason we only saw each other on Thursday was because she worked only on that particular day. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? How is she able to subsist herself if she only works once a week? Sure, she may have another job somewhere, or more like, she definitely must have. But every time I ask her, she simply denies it, and I won't go out of my way to get the answer out of her. I don't care enough for that to happen. But it's still nagging me somehow. I entered her room, nonchalantly, like I always did. She was waiting for me on the couch at the far back of the room while looking at her phone, like she always did. "Oh, you brought us food, and you're so diligent. Hope you didn't forget a fork this time around." She throws herself at the bags I was carrying like the bundle of energy as she is. "Hey, this is my lunch, you idiot." You say this, yet there are 2 bags. You're so not honest with yourself. Man, she's such a kid. Your fork is in the... Wait a minute. Huh? Where is it? She doesn't look my way. She's too engrossed in searching the content of the bag frantically with the question marks hovering on top of her head. Or at least, that's what she was trying to make me think. I dropped my keys and jacket on the floor right then and there. I took her right arm forcefully, enough for her expression to contort in pain. With my right hand, I pushed her chin upward to better see the features of her face. What is it? We're not even in bed yet. You're so naughty today," she says teasingly. "Shut up!" She stopped speaking instantly by my powerful words. I softly brushed around her left eye with my thumb. Her eye closes instinctively by the touch. Even if she applied makeup to hide it, it's still very much visible. "I don't remember having done this to you." "Who did this?" It's nothing really. It doesn't hurt, see?" She pushes 2 of her fingers against the corner of her left black eye. And though her words said otherwise, she still looks at the pain as she applies pressure on her skin. "Answer me!" She simply looks down, almost ashamed of herself. Instinctively, I try to put my hand on her waist to comfort her somehow. But the moment my hand touches her body, I see her grimaces slightly. I take her shirt and lift it up without minding destroying the damn thing. Sure enough, there are dark marks all over her waist and belly. Marks that only a man could have done. "Answer me, goddammit! Who did this to you?" Well, she thinks carefully about her next words. "You know, sometimes clients can get out of hand, and..." "Which one?" I don't know him. It was the first time I saw him, and I don't remember his face." My grip on her only tightened up the more words she adds. "Isn't it your employer's job to make sure those things don't happen in the first place? Even if that's the case, it doesn't change the fact that I have a black eye, right?" Please, let's just not talk about this, alright? I want to enjoy myself. I've literally been waiting for today all week. I didn't answer her, nor did I look her way. I was lost in thought. I didn't understand why I was so frustrated. It was uncontrollable, and I know I shouldn't act illogically, but doesn't mean you know something that you'll automatically apply it to your thought process. And we'll find out what happened in the next episode. So have a great day. Know you're beautiful, and I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, still give it a like. Bakable every Tuesday. Have a good one, guys. Roll the outro.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's your soul, but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it. No, it's my heart. Your shit out of your love. Don't make me tell you again. Woo! Love, love, love. Hey. Love, 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 love. I do it for love. Love, love, love.
Do it for. Yeah, do it for. Do it for. I do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the money, well yes it's true. And I'm so blessed to be fulfilling my destiny. All material things could mean less to me. Only thing I ever could need is a Sarah B sample with a dope ass beat. And get the mic check, all the levels right. And if it's good then I'll be here for several nights. Cause the only thing I need is a strong supporting team.